I've been kind of leading into this with y'all for a couple of weeks. But Ethan Rivera is going to be our speaker tonight. We just know him as Riv, always have. But when he came to RSU as a baseball player, I immediately was drawn to him. Mostly because I could see myself in him, especially the thuggy parts. Probably more so the thuggy parts than anything. And he actually, you guys have heard this, but he actually inspired this board over here that we call the War Board. And I love acronyms, so I just wanted something that was war, because I knew it was a spiritual war that needed to be fought to win Riv over. Not because Riv was any worse than anybody else, but because I wanted it for him. Because I knew a guy that God had to intervene in his life before he could find the things that he was looking for in myself. And that's what makes me want it for everyone else that I come into contact with, and especially those that I grow in relationship with. So we put his name up there and started praying over it. Not just me. There's other people in here that prayed over that board. I know I would walk in and catch Leah just laying hands on those cards. And James is usually has prayed over that board. I mean, there's plenty of people that pray over that board, especially once Bailey's posted people and prayed for them. And it's prayer's powerful. Prayer's powerful. But this isn't just a reconciliation story. This is a reconciliation, a fall away, and a reconciliation, like only God can do. And then in a very short time, since he called me a year ago and said, Zorn, God won, and I am back, and I am all in back, I have just seen the most amazing amount of growth that I've ever seen. He doesn't use the same words he used to use. He don't use words. I don't even know half the words he's using. It's just incredible to see God at work in him. So I'm thankful that he's here. He was one of the guys that I've told you guys about, Spiritual Sons, just kind of contacting me and reaching out and all these things. He was one of them that out of the blue, just like, hey, you want to go to lunch? And we got to reconnect. And it was in a time when I needed to know that the spiritual fatherhood and spiritual motherhood journey that we believe the AMP station as OGs are supposed to be on, it just confirmed that. I'm sure the OGs got tired of me sending texts going, confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. But Riv, come on up, share your heart, welcome him up here. And I'll leave you to it.
How are we doing tonight? Did anybody's football teams, win or lose? Anybody? Cowboys fans in here? I hope not. Sorry. Thanks for coming in here instead of watching the game. Yeah, my name's Ethan Rivera. I usually go by Riv, obviously, as he said. And something important I wanted to start it off with was, is it still going? Still going? Okay, cool. Was there's a piece of God inside of everybody in here. And there's not a coincidence that you're here, you know? And that whenever there is a piece of God inside somebody, you speak to that. Because you know it's in there somewhere. You just don't know what the words are, but the Holy Spirit will guide you to it. What I wanted to start off with was a quick story. So if y'all could close your eyes real quick and just imagine this with me. Imagine two parents, right? They're married and they have their first child already. What a blessing. And, you know, the mother, she has a kid in her womb, and they go to the hospital. They're going to do the ultrasound. And just one of these days on the checkups, the doctors say the baby has a white spot on the baby. And so as they're explaining this, they're trying to guide the parents into, you know, what the possible decision would be, what they should do, so on and so forth. And they're like, yeah, because of this possibility of this baby having Down syndrome, like we recommend y'all to like not have a baby, but ultimately it's like it's up to y'all, right? And these parents are like, no way, we don't care if this baby's having Down syndrome or not. Like, this is our baby, we're gonna have it. And they had the baby, and it ended up being perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. and then y'all can just open y'all's eyes with me. And that was me. I was that baby. Nice. Hello? Okay, cool. And so, yeah, I was that baby. And so whenever my parents first told me that story, I believed in coincidences and stuff. And I was like, man, that's cool. Like, what are the chances of that happening to me? You know, I had the spot on me, and all of a sudden it's not there. Cool. Cool story. And I always grew up being told that, you know, there's no blueprint for life, and that, you know, like, what's the best decision to do this? You know, you don't really learn that. And that's just such a lie, you know. We have the Holy Bible, and that's our blueprint for life. And if we really believe God, then we believe that the Holy Bible is our blueprint, and that if we follow it, we're going to go to where we need to go, no matter what. And that's why I believe God, because I trust Him. I believe in Him, and that He shed His blood for me and everybody in here. And so, kind of just about me, I grew up in the military family. Did anybody else do that? Anybody? Okay, cool. What's up? And so, you grew up military, you move around a lot. And so every 2 years, I would go find a new place to live, make some friends, leave, find new friends, make some friends, leave, you know, so on and so forth. And as it went on, bless you, as it went on, I just grew to be really anxious when I met new people. And I just grew to also just be a people pleaser to try to fit in real quick, right? And I mean, obviously, if you try to please people other than God, we all know how it's going to work out. And so, being the new kid, always trying to prove myself, you know, whenever I would try to do that, it always didn't work out. And that would kind of chink in my character, right? Like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to make new friends. I'm just the new kid. I'm going to move in 2-3 years anyway. What's the point of making new friends when connection is actually exactly what God wants us to do? And that's just the enemy's voice. And growing up, just an example of me, how anxious I was. For freshman year of high school, I was in Edmond, and we just read this book. Everybody probably read it at some point. And we used to do a minute presentation in the front of the class, and do my presentation. I go to sit back down. There's this girl next to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that sucked, you know. There's a girl next to me. She's like, look at me, give me a little side eye. I'm just like, what's going on? And I look at my shirt, and man, there's just a gallon of sweat on each side of my pits, right? And I'm just like, gosh dang, I didn't even see, I didn't even know it. And that's just an example. Like, I just thought everybody was like, oh, like, this kid sucks, you know, oh, this guy's that, you know, oh. And that's just an example of how damaging your thoughts can be and how real they can become. But even though 90% of them are just false, it's just a lie that just continues to go to your mind, right? And how I lived, you know, because I've moved so much, and I just kind of just let things happen, right? I would just go wherever the wind took me, right? What are you up to tonight, Riv? Wherever the wind takes me, you know, I don't really care. And that's how, and I enjoyed it at the time. I thought that was like how to do things. I thought that was the way to live. It's not. Just a heads up. It's not. And as I grew up, I would get called all these things, right? I'm sure a lot of people in here know my past and what I was about, what I wanted to do, drinking, smoking, hooking up, doing all these things, right? So I could call these names, you know, whatever they may be. Maybe I got called a waste of a talent in baseball. And I believed that for a long time. I believed that. And these are just lies, right? But something that attracted me to God, and whenever I called Zorn that day, I was like, God won, you know? So one of these things was, God gives us names in the Bible. Jesus gives us names in the Bible that, yeah, I'm a son of a king, you know? And it's stuff like that you call on to the Prince of Peace, and he just reaches back and holds you tight and doesn't let you go. And it's stuff like that I just know that God's real. And so leading up to college, you know, I remember setting up AMP itself at the very beginning, 20 years ago, just about. And so this thing, none of this was in here. It was me, a couple other freshmen, just like really. And then after that, Zorn would always text me like once a week, and he'd like, hey, what are you doing? Come on to AMP. Like, we got something going on tonight. I was probably drinking, you know. I was like, I'm not going to go. Maybe next week. Well, next week didn't turn to a month. The next week turned to like, I'm not going to go. Probably, I'll go to pancake night. Pancake's pretty good. I'll go to pancake night. Those are pretty good. with the bacon and stuff. The banana pancakes were really good, by the way. And that's just what I did. I was just living for myself, serving myself. Oh, yeah, getting drunk sounds good. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what I did. I didn't really care about anything else, anybody else. I just wanted to serve myself. And I know a bunch of people in here know Jesse Holguin. And I remember just chopping it up with him in the locker room, right, as we do. And it was a time where, I was struggling, and he knew it because we ought to open up to him sometimes. And he's just a good friend I could talk to and still do to this day. And he's like, "Hey, Riv," he's like, "What do you believe in?" I believe in a higher power. There's something going on somewhere, right? But I don't really know what to believe, Like, I've heard about Jesus my whole life. I've bought into it, And I'm just like, I don't really know what to believe. Nothing's really spoken out to me. And so he just poured into me about God like he always does. And it's conversations like those that lead into me standing up here today. Because I did pray for courage one time, and careful what you pray for, because you might end up on stage. Because I hate this. And so, yeah, it's just conversations like that, conversations from Zorn, other followers that were just pouring into me that I didn't realize what they meant, or that they truly love me, because whenever you share Jesus with someone, you truly love them, because it's a form of love. And that leads, going through college, being at school here. Cool, just going through the same things every weekend. Hey, let's go to Tulsa. Let's go drink. Let's go do whatever. Every weekend, it's a rinse and repeat. And then it led up to about, what was it? It's like September of 21. And I went through a breakup on a Friday, right? Cool, whatever. I'll brush it off. I'll go have a drink with some of the boys. Next day, I get a call. I'm at lunch right down the road with two friends. And I get a call from my mom. And right before, my dad texted me. He's like, "Hey, you got a second to call?" Yeah, it's not anything out of the ordinary. He would do that every now and then. My mom calls, and she's crying. I was like, "Hey, whoa, what's going on?" And she's like, "Hey, Ethan, I'm divorcing your dad." And I was sitting on the side. It was a Mexican restaurant right down here. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I'm just sitting on the curb, and I'm just stunned. I don't even know. It felt like a year, but it was probably like 30 seconds. I was like, oh, I don't know what to say to that. She's like, "Well, your dad's here and your brother's here. Like, do you have anything you want to say?" I was like, "I really don't have anything. Like, I'll call you later." I just wanted to blow it off, right? I just said, "Call you later." Hung up, went back. We had practice that day. I did not want to go to practice at all. I just remember bawling and just being stuck in my emotions. Everything was just spiraling. All of a sudden, everything was just spiraling out of control. Everything was fine, I was it's September. A month and a half ago, before I left for school, everything was fine. My family's all good. I'm going to see my brothers when I go back for winter break like I always do. And then all of a sudden, my life just stopped. It just stood still. Life just stood still for a second. I didn't know what to do. So I did what I did best. I kept drinking. Oh, yeah, I need to dine out with the boys. That's exactly what I need. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I need. That wasn't what I needed. And so it was just a constant cycle of that. Nothing changed. I was just trying to fill that void that just kind of deepened it, right? Kept doing the same thing over and over, over and over, over and over. It didn't get better. It left me thinking the next morning, what am I doing? Oh, I'll do it again, right? Makes sense. And so that leads me to March of 22. We're on a road trip for baseball. See, Missouri Western, I believe it was. And we go up on a Thursday. We know it's going to get poured out on Friday. Game's canceled. Yeah, we're going out, fellas. We're going out. We're going to Applebee's. We're drinking. And so we go. It's right across the street from the hotel. Sweet, cool. Hang out, blah, 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 blah. We have curfew. I believe it's around 11. All right, let's go back for curfew. Let's sneak back out after. We sneak back out. We get an Uber to the nearest bar in that local town, whatever it was. And we're doing whatever, right? We're just thinking we're the biggest people on earth. And my buddy comes up to me like, "Hey, like there's an after party going on. We should go. We should go." Like, why aren't we there yet? Let's go. So we get a ride over there. The DD takes us. I believe her name's Savannah. I don't remember. It's sad. She's important to this story, so keep that in mind. It's sad. And she takes us. She drops us off, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come. I'll come see y'all later. Like, let me know." She was talking to her friends, not me. Like, let me know when y'all need me to pick you up. And I convinced her to stay. Like, no, you gotta stay. You gotta stay. You got to. Got to. I don't know why. You just got to. So she stays. She hangs out. I think she's going through some problems or whatever. So she's kind of hanging out, lurking, whatever. And this whole time, I'm searching for something to be captivated by, to fill my heart, to searching everything except for God, to make my heart happy. You know, my character was getting discouraged. I'm listening to the voice of the enemy this whole time for the next September to March. Y'all do the math. I'm not good at math. And I'm just listening to oh, you should feel bad about this. Like, some of this is your fault. Like, you weren't home for the past 3 or 4 years. Like, you have fault in this, right? And so I'm just buying into it, trying to drink it away, smoke it away, and, you know, doing all that. And we're at this house party after. It's like 1, 2 in the morning. And I go to the bathroom, and I see Savannah sitting on the couch or doing whatever by herself. She looked like upset. And, you know, I genuinely care about people before, and I still do, obviously. And I was, okay, I got to go to the bathroom real quick, like really bad. I'll go check on you after. And so I get done. I go on, check, hey, what's going on? And she's like, oh, yeah, my ex. I don't want to hear about your ex, okay? I'm here. I already asked. I'm stuck. Okay, I'll stay. And so she's like, yeah, I'm like, this is going on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of drifting around. I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me about her ex, and then some other problems she's going through. And then she tells me, like, yeah, I grew up military. Oh, I can connect with you now. What you got? What's like? How did you grow up with that? So yeah, because I grew up like really anxious. I hated moving all the time. I hated doing all this stuff because military family, like you don't get to be planted in an area. You don't get to connect very often, right? And so I was like, wow, I hated it. How'd you deal with it? She's like, oh, I had Jesus in my life. And anytime I felt that, you know, loneliness, and I felt as if, you know, I was the lonely kid on the block and nobody, you know, I was just that person on the side. I had Jesus in my life telling me, I'm the Prince of Peace. I'm going to take care of you. That I'm going to fulfill all my promises. That I'm not going to disappoint you. And as she's explaining how Jesus worked in her life, I got this. Keep in mind, it's 2 in the morning and I'm at a party. I'm not in the right state of mind. And I get this crazy body experience where it's just like overwhelming peace, like everything is going to be okay. And I've never felt that before, especially since my parents got divorced. And so after I felt that feeling, it's so intense, I kind of tune her out. I go to my buddy. I'm like, dude, I believe in God. He's like, oh, shut up. You're drunk. You don't know what you're talking about. What do you do? Dude, it's 2 in the morning here. No, dude, I believe in God. He's like, oh, dude, we got to go back to, like, we got to call up Jesse. We got to call up Zorn. Like, we got to go. All right, let's go. I'm down. I'm just on fire right now. Let's go. I feel good. And so we go back to the hotel. I don't know, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, around there. Just when you get your text. Yeah. And so we call up Jesse. We call up Zorn. And like, dude, yeah, I believe in God. And I remember Zorn was asking me, like, hey, how'd this happen? It's like, it's really early. Like, what's going on? Zorn, I was at a house party, and this happened. He's like, oh, well, you know, it was within God's will, I guess. Thanks, Zorn. Made me feel better. And that's where I started believing in God, right? I wasn't sure. I believed in a higher power, but that's where I started believing in God. And that's where my renewal started, and I didn't even know it yet. Now I know. Going back through this, it's like, wow, like this is where it started for me. This is where like I was being refined by fire. I didn't even know it yet. And so after that, I'm on fire for God. I'm ready to take on hell with a squirt gun. You know, I'm just ready to go. I'm going to tell people about Jesus. I feel this peace about me. I'm ready to rock. And then April 24th comes around of 2022, and I get baptized right here in Amp Station. And I'll remember that day for the rest of my life. It was amazing. But a couple hours later, I went back and smoked. Like, I wasn't changed. I wasn't fully reformed. I wasn't really believing God. I believed in God, but I didn't believe God. And I felt that peace go away. And I wasn't really sure what to think about it, but I went back on my old ways. I did what was comfortable. I tried to fill that void again because that void was filled for a month. Oh, yeah. That void was filled because Jesus was there. And then I decided to go back into the world. And that's what I believed in. I was like, okay, here we go again. It's just life. It's just part of life. No problem. I can get through it. Done it before. And that's where it leads me to Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. And it says that you can't serve both masters, the world and Jesus. And so I'm going through this. I'm trying to prepare for this. I'm just like, dang, I was probably 1.5 feet in the world, like half a foot in God, and that's really like 6 feet in the world, right? And I'm just realizing, like, as I'm going through this, I'm just like, dang, this is so true. But at the time, I'm like, I'll just go back and drink with the boys. I'll be all right. And so that whole next year was actually the worst year of my life after I got baptized. When you're told, like, oh yeah, once you have Jesus in your life, everything's flowers and roses, right? No, it's not. It's not. And so that whole next year, I was going through that spiritual battle, and my anxiety got worse. Everything actually got worse, and when I thought I was supposed to get better. I was prescribed Zoloft. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's anxiety medication. I was prescribed Zoloft. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was searching everything again, trying to be captivated by everything again, but God. And the enemy was winning. He had a hold on me. And so it came to that whole next year, so April to the next year of 2023, around like April, May. I'm just like kind of going through a lot still, I'm going back home. Home's not the same. All of a sudden my mom's in a different house. All of a sudden, I don't see my brothers every day like I used to. My world's still flipped upside down, and, it just keeps going downhill. Keeps going downhill. And April of 23, May of 23 is when I decided, yeah, I think my time at RCU's done. Like, I think my ship sailed here, and it's time for me to leave. Like, I don't know what to do. And this is where I felt really lost. Truly lost. I'm 22 at the time. I don't really know what direction I'm going in. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing baseball. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know where I'm going to live. Because my parents aren't too. I just don't know what's going on. I just don't know. I'm just thinking, like, what am I doing with my life? And so I'm just like, all right, I don't have any. I didn't do well at RSU. Just disclaimer, I didn't do that well. And so I was like, I don't have anywhere to go for baseball, for school. And so I play summer ball in Kansas City. And it's a place where I'm by myself. I have a roommate, and then I see this as an opportunity, like, okay, I can keep filling my own desires, or maybe I can give God a chance. That's when I called up Zorn. I was like, Zorn, Jesus won. I'm going to give him a shot. See what happens. I have nothing to lose, right? I'll let him know, and I don't know. Maybe it was people praying for me. And here, I didn't even know about it. I get to Kansas City, and I just had this thirst of knowledge for God. I don't even know where it came from, because in my own self, I wouldn't search for that, right? I would search for, drugs. I would search for, alcohol to fulfill me. But you know what? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go to Jesus. Cool. And as I have this knowledge for God, like this thirst for knowledge for God, and I literally Googled. I've been to church maybe 3 times my whole life. I've been to AMP a handful of times. I Googled, hey, I'm a new Christian. I'm a new believer. Like, where do I go in the Bible? So it led me to the Gospels, and I just started reading the Gospels, day by day, every other day. It wasn't quite consistent yet. Obviously, I don't really know what to do. I'm kind of by myself. I didn't really have anyone to teach me this, so I just kind of Googled. Dr. Google saved the world. And this is, as I was preparing this, something stood out to me. And whenever the seasons change, where I'm with, my team, I'm with, people always around me. Now I'm by myself. And when the seasons change in your life, that's when the strings have to be recalibrated. That's when Change has to happen, and you have a choice. And sometimes not choosing is a choice. And I chose God. How do we recalibrate those strings? Well, Colossians 3:1. It says, if you have then been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, not of the world, that are above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. What does that mean? Well, whenever you have your eyes and heart fixated on things of the world, things that are finite, you're going to be left empty. You're going to be left with questions. You're going to be left like you're lost and you have nowhere to go. And when you have that blueprint for life, the Bible, it leads you exactly where you need to go. And the daily bread is how we recalibrate our strings. Just like the band up here, they have to recalibrate before they play every day. They have to recalibrate their strings. And I also learned in this time was what I wanted to experience, which was trying to fill my heart and fill that void, may actually be on the other side of what I don't want to do, which was give up alcohol, right? Which was to give up watching porn all the time, which was give up smoking weed all the time, right? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to serve myself. That's all I wanted to do. But if I really wanted peace, I had to give up something. But I actually gained everything. And that summer, it really started me believing in God. Not quite believing God yet, but I'm like, okay, something's cooking. Something's happening. There's some change happening. Because as I went on through the summer, I was reading the Bible. I was trying to get to know who John was. Who's John? I don't know. Figured it out. Oh, what is Jesus doing? Oh, okay. As the summer went on, I kind of just noticed that those habits I did before of wanting to serve myself just slowly disappeared. Whoa. I wouldn't do that myself. Something's got to be happening. Something's cooking. Something's cooking. And so throughout the summer, I'm playing baseball in Kansas City. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm doing well for the first time in a while. I actually feel some bit of success, right? And I get this connection with A&M Corpus Christi. Hey, coach, here's my numbers. Here's my stats. You know, blah, 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 blah. We keep talking throughout the summer. I'd hear from him the whole day one day. I wouldn't hear from him for the next 3 weeks. I would hear from him one day. You know, people, you can't trust people. And so that's just another example of that. And so, you know, I'm going through this process. So I just got to keep going. Keep chugging away. Keep stacking days. Keep stacking days. Keep stacking days. And I just keep going to the Word. I keep praying. I keep praying. Keep going to the Word. Keep praying. Play baseball. Go to the Word. Keep praying. That was my summer. And I enjoyed it. That was one of the most peaceful summers I ever had. And that was the first time in about, what's it been now? Year and a half? Since I felt peace. I couldn't sleep before, you know, those anxious thoughts, they consumed me. Like I couldn't sleep. I was probably going to sleep about 3 a.m. I was tossing and turning. I'd have these night terrors, you know, I can't sleep. I'm too anxious all the time. That's why I got prescribed Zoloft, but even then I felt like a zombie. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't think really. And so I just got off it. And so long story short, with the whole coach thing, I ended up going to A&M Corpus Christi. And I thought it was for baseball, obviously. Oh, I'm on the baseball team, yeah. It wasn't for baseball. I'll explain. And so I got there. I got there in Corpus, and immediately I get hooked up with a great church there, New Life Church in Corpus. And those seeds that people planted in me throughout the years, Zorn, Jesse, and I'm probably forgetting people. I know I am. They're planting these seeds. I didn't even know it at the time. Throughout the summer, I'm reading, and I get into Corpus. It was the most perfect place for me that God wanted me to be at. That was the only way that I could have gone there was because of Jesus. And I landed in good soil. The seed finally landed in good soil. I didn't land in some rocky road. I didn't land in some dried up dirt. I landed in good, fertile soil. And one night, at New Life, they have this amazing revival night called One Night. And the first semester I was there is when they had it, and it goes like 1,000 people show up. Whoa. That's the stuff you hear about in different stories, right? 1,000 people show up. We're all praising God. You know, everybody's on fire for the Lord. It's amazing. This is exactly where I want to be. This is awesome. over 100 baptisms happen, and this is establishing my faith. This is how I started believing God. Not in God, believing God. And what's the difference? Well, the devil believed in God, but he's in hell. So what's the difference? Well, I believe God that when he calls me the son of a king instead of wasted talent, whoa, I'm the son of a king. I'm not wasted talent. I'm the son of a king. I believe that. And so this is where I started establishing my faith and started really spreading my roots, and God was just working through me. And I'm back at it again with I could take on hell with a squirt gun. It was awesome. I still feel it to this day. It's amazing. And something I've learned at Corpus is as a church, we have to be better. And what do I mean by that? And we have to be better not to gain the future of God, but because we already have the favor of God if we believe. If we believe and we have faith, He's going to fulfill His promises. I believe that. I don't just believe in God. I believe. I trust Him. I love Him. I believe He shed His blood for me. I believe that He has a future for me. That it's not just baseball. That I'm actually was led to be up here for some reason. Maybe someone needed to hear this. I don't know. We're going to find out. And I'm excited for that. And what else do I believe? I believe that we are the physical representation of God. And that we are the soft touch when someone needs it. Because Jesus as a human is not on earth anymore. So He uses His followers to spread His word. He uses His followers to spread His love. And if you just believe in God, I'll read a chapter 1, I'll go to church, and I'm good. I got my fill. I'm full. I'm full for the day. Rest of the week, hey, y'all want to go out tomorrow? Let's do it. No, that's believing in God. I know He's there. That's cool. But believing God is like, no, I don't think He would want me to go out today. I think He would want me to stay in and, maybe just share like, hey, I read this today and gosh, it really filled me up. Like the Lord was just speaking to me. I think that's what He would rather have. Okay. I start believing in Him. And that's where it leads me to Colossians 3:17. And whatever you do in word or deed, everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him. That's what I mean in I believe Him. Everything I do, how I talk, how I go about life, everything I do, I'm going to think of Jesus. I'm going to be like, yeah, I think that's what He'd want me to say. I don't think He's going to want me to go out, play pool, have some beers with the boys. I think He's going to want me to go and spread His love because someone needs it. And you don't even know it yet, but hey, like I had this encounter with Jesus today. I just got to share it with someone. And maybe they were like, I was actually thinking about killing myself today. And I prayed to Jesus, like, hey, I need to hear from someone. That's our jobs as followers. That's what we're here to do. We're not here for ourselves. I landed in good soil. That was awesome. And that leads me to the next thing is, everybody's heard of the saying, hey, you got to follow your heart, right? And that's going to lead you where you need to be, right? Like everybody's heard that before one time or another. And who actually, y'all believe that, right? You believe that? Well, that's a lie. That's a lie. How do I know it's a lie? Because God told me. God tells us He has a blueprint for life. It's a lie. Where does He tell us that? Huh? Oh, did it? Thanks. Appreciate you. I know you are. Where does He tell us that? Well, in Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? And so we get caught in this norm, right? It got accepted that, yeah, once you follow your heart, that's where you want to go. That's where you need to be. What a lie. I believe that. Now I believe God. Now I believe God. And I also believe God when He says in Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 through 27. I believe Him when He calmed the storm. I believe Him when He was sleeping. He wasn't even worried about the storm. He wasn't worried about the ships being taken over by water and sinking. He trusted the Father God. He's like, what are y'all doing? I'm sleeping. Get out of here. Jesus, we're about to sink. What do you mean? All right. So He told the sea, be calm, be still. And it happened. I believe that. I don't just believe in God. I believe He said that. I believe He did that. And so I trust him because I believe him. And because I believe him, I love him. Because I know he has my back. Because he's the Prince of Peace. And he promises that. And what I said earlier, that God didn't send me to Corpus for baseball, while he did, and I only, I played like 1 or 2 games, right? And so I kind of struggled with that the second semester, right? And I was like, I thought I was supposed to be here for baseball, and things aren't going the way I thought. But they actually were. I would have conversations with some teammates in the outfield. I'm going to church. I met my beautiful fiance. What's up, Avery? And things, I think all my values in baseball still. But towards the end of the semester, I'm like, wait, I'm having all these conversations with my teammates. They're asking me about God. That's my purpose. I'm not supposed to be there for baseball. I'm supposed to be there for God. I'm supposed to have good soil. I'm supposed to grow. That's what I'm there for. And it's no coincidence that me thinking I was in Corpus for baseball, there's no also coincidence that everybody in here today is supposed to hear something that God wants me to say. Because it's not me saying it, it's from God. And that we should act on that. It's not a coincidence that God let me go through that spiritual battle for a year, which was the worst year of my life, just to be refined and to be renewed how he wanted me to be here on this stage today. That's not a coincidence. I don't want to be up here, but he wants me up here, so I will. Like, I hate speaking in front of people. I do. I promise. But he did all that so that I could trust him even more, and that I didn't have to run aimlessly anymore. That I didn't have to run with a chicken with my head cut off. I don't know where to go. Like, I go back to my boy. No, I just go to God. That's it. Just go to God. Trust in God. Believe in God. Believe him. And like it says in the Word, whenever I was able, he gave me the opportunity when I was by myself to decide between him and the world. I chose God. He gave me a way out. And I'm sure he's given everybody here a way out. You just got to look for it. You got to hear it. You got to have eyes to see, ears to hear, and an open heart willing to understand if you believe him. If you don't believe him, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to want to hear it. No, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go sleep it off. And that leads me to 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 24 through 27. This has been my favorite recently, actually. It says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize?" I don't know why that stood out to me, though, because we're all running our own race with God, and we're not supposed to compare our other race with somebody else because they're doing their own thing. God's working in their life, so what do you mean only one person won? One person gets to win. Well, because Jesus already won. He won it for us. He ran our race for us. And so when I read that, but only one receives the prize, Jesus received that prize for us so that we don't have to do it on our own. So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do not receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself to be disqualified. And running that race, knowing you believe in God, I already won. I just got to keep stacking days. I just got to keep going. I just got to keep believing in him because I know he believes in me. I didn't even believe in myself. And the only way we can lose is if we get in our own way and decide, oh, no, I got it. Thanks, God. I got it. I'm out. That's the only way we can lose. We just got to let Jesus have a hold of us. That's all we have to do. Let him have our hearts. And lean not into our own understanding. And so I just want to help renew our minds real quick. I know everybody's heard of I think, therefore I am, right? And I believe that. I actually do believe that. if you think you are something, that you'll actually believe that and, turn into that, whatever it is. But let's have a little twist on it. Let's say I have, therefore I hope. Ooh, even one better. I did this one myself. I was proud of it. I'm saved, therefore I've won. That changes things a little bit. That gives me hope. That gives me life. I didn't even have life before, but the giver of life gave it to me. I didn't deserve it. I've hurt so many people. I've lied. I've cheated. I didn't deserve it. But he promised me he would. And he did. And he keeps doing it to this day. And it's overflowing. And that's why I'm here today. Not because I wanted to, because God led me here. And so I want this to, as we go into a time of response after, as I miraculously felt led to be baptized, if there's anybody with that pull on their hearts, I just hope that they buy into that they believe God is going to take care of them, and that the baptism represents that. Like, yeah, God's got me. God's going to take care of me. I believe God. You don't have to believe me, but you can believe God. You don't have to trust me. I got this from God, not me. It's not my words. Because this is where I got baptized, and I presented this to Zorn, and I was like, hey, I just want them to have an opportunity. Like, if they want to do it, cool. If not, then all right, no problem. We'll see you. We'll still love you. That's how I said. I'll still love you. And I also wanted to say that what becomes accepted is what becomes normal. And so why not making saving souls the norm? Why not reach out to others when you got a whole bunch of stuff? Everybody got stuff going on. Why not reach out to someone? Hey, man, I hope you're doing good. I was just reading the Bible and I thought about you. I hope you're doing good. Why not we try to save souls? Make that the norm. And the best time to do that is now. There's no perfect time for it. How do I go about this thing? The Bible. The Holy Bible is our blueprint for life. Oh, no, I don't. No, it is. I promise. No, I don't promise. Jesus promises. And the best time to do that is now. And it's best to do it when you're confused and scared, because we'll never have the answers. We never will. But God will. And I believe that God will. And because I believe that God will, I know that God's got you. We also have nothing to lose but everything to gain. And Zorn was telling me a story the other day. Someone was saying, hey, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You gave up all this stuff. And Zorn was like, I wish I would have said I didn't. I didn't give up anything. I gained everything when I trusted God. I gained my life back when I gave it up to God. When I gave my heart to God. And that everything I do flows from it. So no, don't trust your hearts. It's deceitful. And then another focus that came into my mind as I was preparing this is I just challenged the men in the room to be leaders in their homes, in their Bible study groups, on their teams, in their families, whatever it may be. Be leaders. There's a lot of women leaders in this room, and they do an amazing job. But we have to have men step up. I've heard a lot of stories. It's happened in Corpus too. I've heard a lot of stories there was we had 40 people there, and there was 30 women. Great, that's awesome. But we need guys to step up too. We need guys to step up too. And I just want to use this time as a time to respond. If you're feeling a tug to text that person, to give that person a call, I pray that you do that. If you feel like, man, maybe I do need to get baptized. Maybe I need to draw that line in the sand. I'm done with the world. I just want God now. I just want God. I'm going with God. If you're team God, I think it's worth considering. I believe God will take care of you, and that there's a piece of God inside of everybody, like I said in the beginning. And I pray that God used me to speak to that in someone that needed to hear it tonight, and that y'all act upon it, and that because you act upon it, you believe Him, that He's going to take care of you. That's all I got.
Stay up here with me. Stay up here with me, just a little bit. Two things for me really stand out in this message. The first one is, I've got to get way better at doing room checks on the road. Have to. But yeah. But God works in things that aren't always right. You know, He still works in those things. I've seen it in my own life, and I'm thankful for it. The other thing is, it was the connection that he had in Corpus Christi that solidified everything. It was the relationships that he built. You know, I talked about spiritual sons and spiritual daughters. This is a spiritual son to me. I don't know if he recognizes that, but I definitely do. And now, potentially, a new daughter into our family of Christ, right? Because they got engaged last week. But you know how you recognize those kinds of things? Is when they're so excited to tell you that they text you in the middle of the evening and FaceTime you with the ring shining and going, look what we did. Look who God brought together. You know? It's amazing what he does. So Ethan gave you an opportunity, and we've got the tanks out there. I want you to bow your head and close your eyes. He's given you an opportunity to respond to this. If you haven't received Christ in your life, and you're ready to do that tonight, then just give me a quick little pop of your head, look up at me, and let me know that you're ready for that. Make sure we get eye contact. Okay? If you've maybe, like Ethan, you found it for a moment, but the path was just a little too narrow at the time for you, and you strayed off of it. You went a little bit on your own, and you'd like to correct that. Tonight's when you'd like to make it known to God and your Christ family that you're fully back on that path. This is your opportunity to make the phone call, not literally, that God won and I'm back. Would you just look at me and pop your hand up or something so I can recognize and be sure? Anyone at all? Okay, no worries. If you've never been baptized or you'd like to be rebaptized, we've got the tank set up. It's just an acknowledgement that in front of your family and friends that I want them to know that I've chosen God. I want them to love me enough to hold me accountable. I want them to recognize when I need just a text or a touch or a call. Hey, are you okay? Is there anyone here that would like to be baptized? We got towels, we got shirts, we got everything that you need. Yeah? Yeah, we got one. Is there anybody else that would like to be baptized tonight? And I'm not going to be able to handle this because this is a prayer moment. The person that's going to be baptized tonight is going to just absolutely overwhelm some of these girls in here with pride and joy of what God can do and how he can work. Yeah, hold on. Ethan's got something else he wants to say.
I just wanted to say really quick, whenever I did decide to do it, it was a cry out for help. And that I admitted that I don't have everything in control. It was an admittance to God, like, you got it. I know you got me. And that I didn't know, but I just knew everything's going to be okay. And that whenever you give it up to Christ, there will be fruit that follows it. It'll change in your family, your friends, your life, and everybody you just love. It's saving souls should be the norm, not killing ourselves.
Is there anyone else that would like to join in tonight and would like to be baptized? I'm gonna, just like last time, we're gonna go out here, and Mama, will you grab some towels? We're gonna go out here to the tank, and I invite all of you to gather around so that we can do this. I'm not even going to be able to say it. Key is asked to be baptized. Key. Yeah. Here, we believe that every member is a minister. There's no certificates that are needed. When Philip was running with the Ethiopian, and he decided he wanted to be baptized, they didn't wait for certificates. They didn't wait for anything except for some water to be around. So, Key, do you know who you want to lead you in this baptism? Yes, she can do it. She loves God. She loves God. Yes, she can. So if you guys, you're free to go if that's what you need to do. But we're going to go out there and celebrate with her, and I'd love it if you'd do that with us as well. All right, let's head out to the Duncan tank.